Okay. Please state your name and your current city of residence.
New Hampshire. Jacob Toll from New Hampshire.
Jacob Toll from New Hampshire.
Yep.
Jacob Toll from New Hampshire, are you currently doing the self-authoring program? Is this correct?
Yes, I'm doing the future authoring program.
What did I say?
The self-authoring.
Self-authoring.
There's 3 parts to it, and I am only doing 1 part.
And so is future authoring is the first part?
Well, it's not the first part. There's 3 parts of a suite, and you can choose between all 3 of them, or 1 of them, or 2 of them.
Why do you never sit? Why do you never sit? Why are you always walking around like you're like in tunnels, like you're in like Vietnam or something?
Well, for one, it's always at night when I'm talking to you, and it's cold, and I have to tend my fires.
Ah, yes, the wood stove.
Yes.
So why don't we have? No, I guess that would work.
The other thing is, I think better when I pace.
Yes,
I like
because you're embodying the knowledge.
Yes, I am very much one who paces.
Okay, so let's hear about this authoring program. You're currently doing the future authoring program.
Yeah.
So for people who don't know what it is, what is it?
It is a series of writing prompts. Different questions that they ask you to write within time, and they give you an estimate of how long you should expect yourself to write, how many words, how much time you should spend.
Yeah.
And it gets to the bottom of making plans of action.
Gets to the bottom of it, eh?
Gets to the bottom, the very detail. The next minute,
bottom.
Hour. The very bottom, well, in time.
But
the bottom of the time unit.
Now what
down
happens,
to the second.
Now what happens if you get to the very bottom of something? You get to the very, very bottom, but somehow you're able to get underneath the bottom. Then you know what you're doing?
What are you doing?
You're standing under it. Or you
I don't know where you're going with this, Leroy.
Or you could change the order of what I'm saying. You're not just standing under. What are you doing if you change the order of what I just said? Oh.
You're understanding, huh? Whoa. Etymology, man. Maybe. I'd have to look that one up.
Some of these words, they have interesting meanings, right? Let me ask you about this word. Have you ever heard this word before?
Probably.
Listen. Insight.
Insight? Like incitement?
No.
Yeah.
Not incitement. Insight.
Like
I-N-S-I-G-H-T.
Oh, insight. Yeah. As opposed to insight. Okay.
Yes. I'm not trying to incite you with my insight question.
Okay.
But I'd like you to gain some
insightfulness.
Yes. So, how does one gain insight, young Jake Toll?
One sees in.
Mm-hmm. How does one see in, Jake Toll?
Observation, experience.
How though? If you want to look at the external world, right? We use our eyes. We look around, right?
Observation, experience.
Right.
That's
But
what
if
I
we want to
said.
gain insight, how do we gain insight?
Introspection, you mean? Is that where
Yeah.
you're leading me?
Yes. But how do we look in? Like these eyes are for looking out at the world, right?
Okay.
Right? So in
Right.
order to gain insight, we must close these eyes and open another eye, which in Vedanta is called the third eye. Now, people think it's some like weird mystical thing. It's not. It's your ability to imagine, right? Because you
Okay.
can actually visualize with this third eye, right? So this is the symbolic place for it, right? There's nothing there, right? But it's a concept, right? The concept of the third eye is the eye that opens when you close these eyes intentionally, right? When we fall asleep, the third eye doesn't open because that's a different type of imagery and imaging, right? That's dreaming. That's different, right? When you're awake and you're conscious and you close your eyes and you start thinking about things, you can actually visualize them, right? So that's
Right.
insight. You're gaining insight into things. That's when you observe things deeply, right? So if I say to you, Jake, you need to look at free will, you need to observe it carefully, right? I'm not saying you need to look around with a magnifying glass. Where is free will? Where is free will? No, you need to close those eyes, these eyes, and start developing this insight into the experience, right? So, did you read my last comment? I think I wrote something about prayer in my last Facebook comment.
I don't think so, but I
Okay.
pray a lot.
Yeah. So this is why I've decided I wanted to change the line of questioning, because up till now I've been trying to approach this as an intellectual problem, and I realized that that's the most obvious wrong way of approaching this type of a problem. And I've known that. I just don't know why. I got caught up because I like to talk and I like to use language, but this is an experiential topic. And because I was pretty sure you had insight into prayer because you've experienced prayer and you've probably had a number of different experiences with prayer, I've now realized that prayer and meditation are essentially the same thing because they grant you insight into your life, right? They allow you to take on different perspectives and to, just expand your awareness of what is even possible. So I would like to, if you could, share some stories about prayer. But once again, you have frozen in time. I am here talking by myself. Entertaining. Oh, is he back? All
Leroy, I love.
right, you're back. Did you catch any of
Yeah,
that?
you were gonna talk to me about prayer. You were
About what?
gonna talk to me about prayer. You were
Yes,
gonna talk to me about prayer because I have lots of different experiences with prayer.
yes. And because what I've realized is that prayer and meditation are the same thing. I used to think that they were different, but I realize now they're the same thing. It's just they were done in two different cultures, so they have different names, but the experience is the same. And one of the
Yes.
most important terms that I would like you to expound upon, I haven't used that word, expound, in a long time. I'm glad I have the opportunity to use it now. So I would like you to expound on the phrase surrendering to the will of God.
Surrendering to the will of God. When you run into situations where you feel that you have no control,
Oh, that's the only time you should do it.
and sometimes it's all you.
So
No,
you're
you should
saying,
probably do it always.
oh,
Something because that you can't control, but it's not the same as not having will over what you can control.
Wait a minute, though. I thought I heard you say for a moment there, maybe we should...
It's an admission that there's much that you can't control. I said it's a mission that there's much you can't control.
What's a mission?
It's an admission that there is much you can't control.
Okay. You admit that?
And right.
So in
free
that...
will is extremely limited.
Sorry?
I've never contended that there isn't extreme limitations on free will.
So do you think it makes sense to use the word free for something that has extreme limits on it? If I say, hey, look at this thing, it has extreme limits on it, and another person says, oh, you mean the free thing? The thing that's free? That has freedom?
Maybe it's not a good, maybe it's not the best word to use it.
Right.
To use.
So if there's
but
a whole
free will debate, so,
yeah.
You know, I've jumped on that bandwagon.
Yeah. So, okay. So that's a kind of a segue. I got segued there. But, yeah, it's not...
You know the Green Lantern?
What's that?
Green Lantern has free will. The ring gives him the free will.
I don't know DC very well. Okay, hold on. Let's okay, let's talk about prayer. So in your... Okay, and why didn't you like the word system? You said, let's stop using the word system. You don't have a system? Is that what you're saying?
It's your pluralist bias that there is your system as opposed to the system.
So you're saying Christianity is...
Because what I... Maybe. That is something, that is a personal debate I'm going through right now.
Okay, fair enough. So
that's my intellectual crux that I'm wrestling with lately.
It's your what?
That's like the crossroad I am at intellectually that I'm trying to figure out.
Yes, very good. It's very good that you're struggling with this, because I've also realized that real insight comes through struggle.
Yes, I very much agree with that. Yes.
Right? We only build muscle.
You have to wrestle with yourself.
Yeah.
That's the trouble with ideology.
Okay.
Right? And almost anything from ideology.
Okay, so give me 5 minutes. I'm going to go away for about 5 minutes. But during that time, I want you to talk nonstop, like stream of consciousness. Like you're in a coffee house, and this is like a jam session, and it's like you're given like a spoken word, like, my name is Jake Toll, and I'm here to talk about prayer. Now, this is what prayer is. All right. It's all yours.
Damn you, Leroy. So, ideology. Almost anything can become an ideology. People want to limit it to groups of things that are ideologies that groups of people attach themselves to. But habits of the mind become ideological. That's what people misconstrue about faith, I think Kierkegaard hit on. You know, it's not that a real devout commit faith is. It's more like it can be more than that. It can be a passion and a struggle to commit yourself to something that you at the moment don't fully understand or can't understand, or you have to trust yourself in a way that is terrifying. You know, I don't think there's a traditional idea that the opposite of faith is doubt, and I'm not sure that's true. And, you know, I'm really starting to think it's not true. But maybe I'm wrong about that. You know? That this is something I'm working through as I wrestle with pluralism. Because it's almost like people want you to be a pluralist. People want you to believe that everybody is right in their beliefs somehow. And everybody has truth. You want to be respectful of other people's beliefs and not say, hey, this person is wrong, right? Well, sometimes you do. But it's like, is somebody going to be completely wrong? How is the gem of truth going to line up? People don't like religions because a religious person might say, you're not a part of this religion or you're going to hell.
Jake, hold
right?
on.
That's plural. Right? The disbelief in a single religion
Hold on for a second.
is plural.
Jake,
Yes.
I'm just going to stop this recording and start another one.